no matter who gets in the way.
Roxanne, no, you'd never do something like this.
Unless she's being controlled by...
Spectra.
Is she?
Gale's finest work.
What?
And able to seduce even the
most stubborn of minds.
Oh, he's using it on his own
Your
mother.
own mother.
How else could I have gotten this job? I wasn't Mommy's favorite.
Let her
That's
go.
fucked up,
I know
dude.
you probably think Spectra is nefarious, but I disagree. It's simply nudging people into the vandalism.
It's fucking mind control 100%.
Wait, this is all an overly complicated plan to sell more product.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to make something people actually want to buy? It's ridiculously hard!
Yeah.
Hey, a new whatever! Well, what color, what model, size, speed, do I need it? All that stress, gone. Because we'll subconsciously make that decision for you.
And you could sell piece
You're
of shit.
enslaving them.
I'm freeing them with the truth of having a better life.
This is so corporate.
I know, right? But look at you, wanting a brand new Project Armstrong enhancement to become a rock star. Ugh.
His arm wasn't
You're
working.
Nothing without my technology. You bought into it, and you'll help bring even more customers.
Uh-oh.
Project Armstrong was meant to help people. It was Mom's idea.
Well, Spectra is mine, and look who's in control now. Bam!
Bam.
Time for Spectra's wireless test run.
Whoa.
Keep an eye on your buddy Chai here.
Am I gonna turn into the bad guy?
We're so close!
I don't want to be the bad guy. My guitar. My junk guitar.
Stealing my technology and then calling yourself a rock star? For doing what exactly?
I don't know what to do. Maybe Kale is right. I'm nothing without this arm.
Chai, don't let him get to
My
you.
iPod heart.
You led us here.
And it's because of who you are.
But I can't get us out of this.
It's not your fault, Mr. Chai. It's a harmonic force field.
A harmonic force field.
Uh-oh.
You mean like sound?
Yes, but destroying it requires a huge amount of energy.
If I can synchronize with the frequency, I have to at least try.
Okay.
It's not over yet. Stand back.
We're gonna put it on another show. Am I losing my arm? I think I'm gonna lose my arm. Quick time event
Just remember. Feel the beat.
of the world. Reflection. Shit, I missed one.
You may not be slim, but you get it done.
This is cute.
You might not see it.
This is very good anime in a good way. I missed one. Aw, it sucks because when I miss it, it messes the music up.
He's quite come around, hasn't he?
Yeah.
We're in this together.
We're gonna hold hands and beat it too. Yeah, I miss one at least every time.
I, for one, Mr. Chai, like your bets.
That's what he gets. Nice.
Good enough.
I agree with that. It's funny. There's the beat's not right for me. I don't like the beat on that one.
I got this.
Let's try that again. Okay. I don't know, the beat was weird on that one.
I do trust you. You know that, right?
No, that was a good line at the end.
Know it now. I don't need a guitar. I am a rock star.
Good music. That was cool.
I thought you said you didn't need a guitar.
Yeah, but this is much cooler. We can do this.
I like that. It was really good.
Peace and quiet. Someone get me a cortado.
Coffee machine's only putting out decaf, sir.
What? And now this.
Hey, Kale! We got
Sunglasses.
beat!
We got beef!
Okay, screw this. Do what you need to do. Just
That's Scott
stop.
Pilgrim reference to me. We got beef. That just reminds me of Scott Pilgrim.
Mission briefing. Team, split up and let's get this jackass.
Okay. This song's good. Hey, how's it going? Capture card. My game's updating, so. But I thought I'd. There we go. It's updated. But yeah. Oh, why is my green screen having issues over here? What's going on? What's going on? Need to angle this light more. I have a background light to help illuminate that, but. I'm excited. It feels like it's been like a week since I played Zelda. It bothers me a little bit. But I guess I did play it 12 hours straight one day, so. Let's get back into it. I hope the save worked. Only thing that scares me about updates is the save. I also appreciate a lot of people that have followed me when I was offline. Thank you, North. Beard, Sarkozma, Spider Queen. I followed her. She's an amazing DBD streamer so far, what I've seen. And then Yoshi Ming, I think followed me from a recommendation from someone that I rated. So I appreciate that. We're past 180 followers. That's awesome. Like I was stuck at like 140 for so long, and then just recently it's just been there's a lot of autosaves. Good job, Zelda. Just recently it's been going up a lot, and I really appreciate everyone's support. It's really heartwarming, actually. Especially when it's like my third time trying to stream. The first two times I didn't really, I'd be honest, I didn't put a lot of effort and work into it. I kind of just did it as like randomly. But this time I've tried to be consistent. And I've tried improving on my craft, and it's nice to actually see that moving numbers. Even if it's slow, I don't care if it's slow. As long as it's moving upwards, it makes me happy. I appreciate that. Okay. So, we are at Sky Temple right now. I'm really happy about this. Oh yeah, if anybody follows my socials, you can see that I pulled... Sorry, I just got a nice message. I lost my train of thought now. ADHD. Oh yeah, if you follow my social medias, which I don't know if a lot of people are, and you probably my social medias are the same tag as me, except for Instagram, but TikTok and Twitter are Ashen Brock. But I posted, you can't really see it on camera probably, but this nail got messed up. Oh, you can see the dark line a little bit. That dark line is where I had a giant ass splinter go under my nail at work. I was dealing with a wood pallet. I had to adjust a strap, and I grabbed the strap, and since it was tight on there, I grabbed it like this and moved it down right in my finger. I pulled it out, and it was almost as long as my fingernail. And I had tried to pull it out like before work was done, and I just couldn't get to it. And I just got, like, you know how it is, you got pieces of the splinter out instead. So then I went and bought a $20 tweezer. It was a really nice tweezer, and it literally said it's designed for men and get splinters out, and it was fine tipped and like perfect, and it looked really good. It's a good tweezer. You know, a couple tries of getting precision in there. I looked online about how you should cut a triangle into your nail so you can get it, because most splinters in your nail are on the top. So it's a lot easier if you cut a triangle and then pull it out. But I'm like, it's deep in there, so I don't know if that will work. So I was able to get it, and I couldn't tell if it was getting it or not because it wouldn't budge. Like, and it was hurting. I'm like, am I just pulling skin? I know this might be too graphic. Warning, too graphic. But after like a couple of tries of like doing it, I'm like, that's got to be the splinter. So I'm like, I steadfast myself, and I focused my mind, and I'm like, I grabbed it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna pull, and I just yanked it out, and I yelled. And on Twitter, I described it the best. I yelled, not like, it wasn't like pain. Maybe it was some pain, but I yelled like what I imagine it sounds like in the movies when like a passionate like warrior, like a knight, medieval knight or Viking warrior, like swings his weapon and puts everything he has behind it to like take something out. That's what the yell was like. It was like a war cry yell. And I got it out in one sweep, and it hurt. It hurt more than the last thing I can remember hurting, but there probably has been more pain some other time in my life, but I can't remember it after that. It hurt like nothing I can describe it in a long time, basically. But the instant relief that came after that pain was also as equally undescribable. So that was my traumatic thing that happened this week. And then I cleaned it up, I disinfected it, and I put in, I have this liquid Band-Aid that I use, because I'm like, liquid Band-Aid could kind of get in there a little bit easier than a normal Band-Aid. So I have liquid Band-Aid on it right now. And it was really sore yesterday, but man, I must have done a really good job, because it feels, there's some tenderness, but it feels like it almost never happened. Like, things you got to do to take care of yourself. But anyways, my agonizing splinter story done. I think it's time to play more Zelda. I'm at the Sky Temple. And last stream, it took forever to get here, but it was such an awesome journey. It was like a whirlwind of floating material and buildings, and then ships, floating ships, and you bounced on them, and you just kept climbing. This game is amazing. So someone had tweeted that they think this game is way better than Breath of the Wild, and I argued that it's the same and equals Breath of the Wild, but some of these designs are amazing, and what's even more impressive is it's on the Switch. I know the Switch isn't high resolution and high frame rate and high graphics and not HD, but man, I don't know how they did all these physics mechanics. Hey, Black Belt, my man, how's it going? That was delayed sound alert. Da, da, da. This doesn't look like DVD. Does it say DVD on the stream? Oh, it does. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Da, 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 da. Oh! My Killer Elite, thank you for the resub, man. You're awesome. I'm sorry I'm not playing DVD. Oh, you're my best friend in a world that must offend. There we go. It should be updated now to say Zelda. Thank you for using your Prime sub on me. I know you only get one Prime sub, and I appreciate your Prime subbing to me. It means a lot to me. Earlier, I was just talking about how I got up past 180 followers, and I've been stuck at 140 for so long. and I just really appreciate everyone's support, and you guys are awesome, and I feel like the extra time and commitment I've been putting in the stream has paid off, and I couldn't do it without you guys, because you guys make it feel like I'm actually somewhat succeeding at my side hustle. It's not even a hustle, my side hobby of streaming, so I appreciate that. Oh, and if you guys haven't followed my social, you should definitely at least follow my Twitter, because I at least post some stuff. I posted my Black Belt Salt. I posted my freaking my splinter that I pulled out of my finger. Oh, that was fun. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday night. We're about to tackle the Sky Temple, which I was just talking about how awesome this game is, and how I argued this was as good as Breath of the Wild, but I think it might be better than Breath of the Wild now. And that makes me sad, because Breath of the Wild was my favorite Zelda of all time. And it kind of makes me sad that I got dethroned so fast in the next Zelda game. I know it's weird to say that, because... Okay, I'll say this. The gameplay, mechanics, and physics are definitely better in this game. I might still like the story a little bit in Breath of the Wild, but time will tell. Because I haven't been in the game, so who knows, right? Alright. Thank you, Black Belt, for being here, and John Cena, and thank you so much, Mike Killer. You're fucking awesome, man. I appreciate you guys. Also, I swear, Black Belt, I have you on auto shadow. I don't know why it doesn't pop up. I think sometimes I have to copy the username, like exact, because I think I typed it in. Maybe I messed up typing it. But I think I sometimes have to copy it exact, or it doesn't work. Oh, you're playing more WWE, man. Oh, sorry. I don't know when you played it last, but I have had... Why isn't the shadow popping up? Hello, my shadow thing. But I have been having a very lazy Saturday. Why isn't my clip shout out working? We can copy paste. Unless you got rid of clips. If you got rid of clips, that might be why it's not working. Black Belt, did you get rid of some of your clips, man? Yeah, make new clips then. But anyways, let's see. Subtitles are going. We're good there. We're Gucci. Okay. Okay, I feel a little intimidated about this area now. How much cold resistance do I need? Shit, I didn't think about that. Shit, I'm gonna need a lot. Hopefully I have some. What's a long cold resistance? Let's do the ones that don't give us health first. Alright, we need to find an indoor place. Fast. What? Is that a cannon? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where to start. Basement 1, basement 2, floor 1, basement 1. So there's 2 in basement 1. All right, let's do the floor 1s first. Let's do this one first. Whatever the hell this is, we're going to attack it. Got him. Okay, I have too many weapons already. Okay, look at this spear. Wait, do I want to use this spear? Okay, it's only 14. I want to use this spear up. I'm going to start with weaker weapons first, obviously. Is a bomb too much? I don't think it is. Okay, if we go in here, we don't have to worry about... the cold temperature, so that's good to know. Also, if we use this weapon, we also don't have to worry about the cold either. Because look at this. I also found out if you put something on your shield, we might do that. Hold on. If we put something on our shield here that is fire-based, I heard we don't have to worry about the cold either. Because I know we did it on the weapons, right? Does this emit fire? Maybe we'll try it with the eye just to see. Oh wait, that's not a fire eye, is it? That's the fire one. I want to see if we do this, if this will help. Alright, so now if we put the weapon away... Yeah, the fire eyeball helps us. Okay. Then we can use weak weapons, and then we don't have to worry about the cold. I think. Probably. I like this. I'm already a fan. We're finding chests already. This is nice. Is the... I forgot to see if the sound is good. We got a Zonite shield. Can't carry any more shields. Oh man, we gotta get rid of this guy. Alright. I think that sound is pretty good so far. Okay, all that was down here was a shield? Come on. Come on, game. Come on. Why do you gotta be messing with me here? I really like how the spear looks, though. Oh. First floor. There's supposed to be a switch just right down here somewhere? The music, man. Oh. Another switch. I like how there's like ice stuff you can add to your weapons, but I've tried that once and the ice like breaks instantly, which is accurate, it seems like. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, that's it? Oh. Okay. Fire emitting spear is weaker than this one, so I'm not gonna use it probably. Ooh, I also found out you can attach a cart to your freaking weapon and just use your shield and cart anywhere you want, which is amazing. Always need more arrows. What do we got here? Opal. That might be good for heat resistance, actually. So I'm just gonna see what's up here just to see. Hello? Oh, my shield does melt this. Nice. Let's go get this stuff, though, first. Before it blows away. Yeah, I saw that blowing away. I didn't mean to poke it. So we don't have to use a fire weapon. We can stand here till our shield has heat. We'll really find out if we still get our little bit of resistances. I need to go into like an area and just mine a bunch of crap. I think we have to go to basement first, honestly. Because I need to... What I say by mine a bunch of crap is... Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Is that I need money, and I think I just have to go in and grab a bunch of materials and sell a bunch of them. Okay, we don't want to go this way. Because that looks like that's one way. We can climb this, though. Alright, let's see. See how our cold resistance is in a second. Oh, I didn't want to fall down. It looks like we can't really go that way. Okay, we have just enough resistance that we don't have to worry about it, as long as we have this shield on. Perfect. It's just nice to have one less... No. It's just nice to have one less thing to worry about. It says it's right here, but I can't get it, so maybe we have to go somewhere else. Oh. I know what we're supposed to do, I think. Hold on. That's the perfect handle. Perfect. Work of art, guys. We did a cannon. That looks like a cannon. Okay, stay there. Oh, it's a wind thing. Are you gonna put wind on it, man? Oh, this is the lock. Okay, cool. Come here, kid. I need you. Yeah, you're gonna gust this for me. Gust it. Cute. I like how the locks are different. And then the two.
Link, this thing opened one of the locks. We gotta find the other 4.
Nice. I feel like this is gonna be pretty easy. Should we try going for the basement one then? Wonder how I get down there. Let's try going to this other basement one. Then we have to worry about all the locks in one area. I think that'll be the best. I have a theory that to get up to the basement, we have to climb up. I don't know why. I just have a theory. The way it's designed and shaped makes me feel like we have to fall through like the middle here. Can we even make this? Maybe we can't. I don't know how that was possible. Now we have ice. Let's see what's back here. Maybe not back here. Maybe I was wrong. Here. Oh, I can climb this. I thought I would just slide down. Alright, this is the end of the boat. I'm gonna try something dumb. This seems dumb and it's not gonna work probably. Yeah. Nope. I just want to see if there's anything down here, basically. Oh, so I should move my base cam. I just realized that. I had it here just because of DBD. But this isn't DBD. Okay, there we go. Let's try this first floor one over here then instead. Let's do the first. Maybe they want us to do first floor ones instead. Gonna wait here. Hi guys, how you doing? Am I wearing the best things? Those pants I want to keep, and this glider I want to keep. Even though this would be better. I should upgrade the ice pants too. Sooner than later. I don't see any switch here. Is there anything here of value? Oh, okay, little chest. Ooh, soldier spear. Oh, it's not actually strong. It's already fused. It's stronger than that. That's funny. I mean, if it's stronger, might as well. That's weird. Alright, there's the other lock. We must have to open the door somehow. I like this giant wind thing. I like this. I'm gonna use this a lot. Alright, what does that cannon thing do? Looks interesting for sure. Hold on, is there someone here? I heard the bad guy sound. Must be below us. Oh, there he is. Oh, that does do fire. Cool. Barrel's up there. You're dead. Give me your stuffs. Okay, he's dead. That was easy. Wait, if we drop the barrel from a height, it'll break, right? Good. This is just a way to save my weapon's durability. Alright, there. No. Okay, let's see what this thing does. Yeah, that might have been a mistake, but I go in it. I don't see a way in. Besides like a gate door I can't get in basically. So I wonder if I'm supposed to drop down somewhere? I don't even know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know anywhere I'm supposed to go right now. That's okay. That makes it fun. It looks like there's a hole in there too. We found one hole already, but there's nothing in that hole. I think we just need to get to the basement then. Oh no, I'm melting the spears over there. That's funny, the ice spears. Alright, so let's find... Hey, Tesla, how's it going? Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get the venom. I'm trying to figure out a way down. Can we make that? I didn't even think about trying to make this. Yeah, we make this. Nice. What, was something attacking us? Where is it? Is it flying? Where are you? Oh, it's right here. Alright, these are really easy to kill usually. There we go. Oh, there's another one. Wow, I suck at this. There we go. I want your stuff. Okay. Does this open? Oh, it does open. These are giant doors. It's going pretty good. I'm glad it's going good for you. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday as best you can. There we go. Now we're going... Oh, lasers! We got lasers. This looks intense, actually. Hold on. Let's do it. Oh, I'm not falling. Ah, there's a gust of wind, so you can't, like, fall. That makes that confusing. So we want to fall right here. Or not... I want to be close to the edge, like, here. Oh, I got hit on that? There's a little... Did you see that little piece that was sticking out? It hit me. That's sheep. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do that. There's a tiny 500 superposed on my screen? What? Where's the tiny 500 at? There's a tiny 500? Where is that at? I don't see it. The right of the hand sword. Let me look at my stream. Yeah, I don't see it on my stream. Is it just on your screen? To the right of the hand sword. The thingy up here, the ultra hand. Hold on. So it's the ultra hand that's here. The tiny 500. I have my stream over here too. Let me get the quality up. I don't see a tiny 500 anywhere. Interesting. Let me drop that quality down. We don't need that quality. Yeah. Oh, the shield apple sword? Yeah, I don't see it on my stream at all. Like on Link's back, basically. Yeah, I don't see anything on my stream. I have my stream open so I can look at it in case anything's weird. But yeah, I don't see a 500. Yeah, I wonder if that's like some extra informational stuff that's shown up on your screen for some reason. I wonder what it would mean though, the 500 though. Yeah, and on my mod tab here, I don't see it either. My mod tab plays it in lower quality though, but yeah, I don't see any 500 on a tiny 500 on the shield. The shield sword apple. There it is. The shield. It's an eyeball, actually. Yeah, but yeah, I don't see anything. I wonder what that means for you, though. I don't know what that means. It says 5. I see the time over there, though, but that just changed now to 5:10. So for me, there we go. Okay. Interesting. Oh yeah. Okay, now we do this. Wait. Where's the kid at? We need the kid. We finally got to the one of the second log here. It's on your Fire Cube and Chrome browser. Oh, I don't want this. I want this kid. A tiny 500, and it's on my shield, like the shield I'm using in the game, and it's on. You have it on 2 different sources that's showing up. Why am I not seeing it on my stream, though? That's so weird. Do you have the subtitles turned on, maybe? I'm gonna turn off closed captioning. Because I'm playing at 1080. Tiny 500. Oh, yeah, if you want to, I'll whisper you my Discord username. You can message it to me. Hold on. The right of the sword. Oh, right. I see it. Hold on. Yeah, I see it. Hold on. That is tiny. You're right. What is that? Good catch. Hold on. That might be the clip. Hold on. That might be the clip shout out or something. Hold on. Okay, clip shout out. It could be a 500 error. I wonder if Twitch Guru's not working now. Here, let me test out clip shout out for someone. I know it didn't work. It didn't work for Black Belt. So I wonder if the clip shout out thing's not working. I know what that is. Hold on. I can fix that. That is tiny. I couldn't see that. I can actually see it on my OBS clearer than I can on my stream. So I wonder if Twitch Guru. So Twitch Guru is a website that I use for Twitch shoutouts. But I wonder if it's down. Let's see. I'm gonna try and fix that real quick too. Thank you for that. Yes, there's probably something wrong with the server, or maybe the... Turn text display off. Let's see. I might have to redo it though. That might be an easy redo though. Hold on. Also, I forgot to start recording. Yay. It was bugging. Yeah, thanks for the call out. I didn't see that. It would bug me too. Oh, hold on. My OBS is thinking. All right, so clip shout out. Paste. Is it still there now? If I paste a new link. I don't see it now. But now I have to test it. The black background, yeah. Now I have to test it though to see if it works. We're gonna try black belt again. You didn't get